Hello everybody, welcome back to my Welsh Highland Railway. This is part 2 of the Porthmadog to Rhyd Ddu session. You might remember in part 1 we finished off at the little town of Nantmor. Here we are at Nantmor Halt, waiting for the signal to proceed. There we go. We have a green flag and the whistle, so now we can slowly ease our way in reverse away from the station. You might remember that when we left Porthmadog, we were pulling the passenger cars with the train in reverse. There is the quaint hamlet of Nantmor. And soon we will be able to pick up our speed and also the speed of our video. We are now approaching our first tunnel, the Aberglaslyn Tunnel. Aberglaslyn, I believe, is Welsh for Blue Lake. And I really like this view, coming out of one tunnel and right back into another. Our tracks are following the banks of the Avon Glaslyn. Avon Glaslyn meaning Blue River. Now I have a confession here. What you're about to see soon really does not exist. Oh, isn't that a really nice view? It really does not exist. This is a long route, single track, similar terrain, and to be honest, I really needed to do something different. So I like putting in waterfalls, and I decided to include this fictitious waterfall. As we go over the gorge, we can see that waterfalls. I call it Fantasy Falls. And now we'll be picking up speed. This is a fairly long stretch. The main purpose of this stretch is to allow us to gain the correct elevation for Beddgelert. In a while, there will be a pop-up message telling us that we have to make a stop at Beddgelert to pick up passengers. While we're watching the train make the climb up to Beddgelert, I'd like to tell you about the tale of the dog Gelert. Gelert was the dog of Llewellyn the Great, one of Wales' most famous princes. Legend has it that one day Llewellyn went out hunting, leaving his son sleeping peacefully in a cradle. After all, Gelert, his dog, would be there to protect his son from any dangers. While Llewellyn was out, a wolf prowled over to the baby's cradle. Gelert leapt towards the wolf to guard the prince's son. A fierce fight ensued between Gelert and the wolf. The baby's cot was overturned as the two animals' bodies flew from one end of the room to the other. Despite the fierce battle, Gelert managed to kill the wolf. Eventually, Llewellyn returned and was shocked at the mess before him. He saw Gelert covered in blood and his baby having fallen out of his cradle. Without hesitation, Llewellyn drew his sword and killed Gelert on the spot. After killing his dog, he heard the sound of crying coming from the cradle. He rushed over and saw his baby alive and well, with the dead wolf by its side. Llewellyn's heart broke as he realized what he had done. In the field by the river stands Gelert's grave, hence the town that is named Beddgelert. Evidence suggests that the story was invented by David Pritchard, an 18th century innkeeper of the Goat Hotel. He did this to foster tourist trade, and he is also responsible for building the gravesite. Personally, I like to believe that the old legend is true. And now we're about to enter the station of Beddgelert. The tunnel that guards the approach to Beddgelert station is called the Goat Tunnel. And we are now coming alongside the platform. Beddgelert station has tracks on both sides, so we are pulling up onto platform 2. And we'll be stopping, as you can see, lots of people waiting for us to arrive. For the purposes of this route in trains, I used an elevation of 136 meters above sea level for Bed Gellert. It'll just take a second here for us to come to a complete stop. The pop-up message says, "Passengers boarding, wait for the signal to proceed." And now we have this signal. It says, "Passengers have boarded, and now you can depart after water has been loaded." So we're going to slowly ease up to the water spigot, I guess, for lack of a better name. This is one of the assets in trains, and it is an animated water spigot. Just a second now, and there we go. It's rotating over, and water is pouring into our water tanker. I really enjoy using the animated assets in trains. And we're all topped up and set to go. And leaving the station on our way on our last leg to Rhyd Ddu. I started this route in trains in 2014, and I managed to finish it in 2023. It was a big project. I ended up accidentally deleting a big part of it one time, and I had to restart, and also it managed to span 2 or 3 different versions of trains until I'm now in trains 22 plus. The sign there says that now you will make the climb to Rhyd Ddu near Mount Snowdon. That's a nice little view. There are several S-turn sections on this part of the route. It's to allow the train to kind of go back on itself to gain altitude without having too steep a gradient. A little farm area there, and we'll soon be finishing up this part of the first S-turn. I've been asked by some people, who is that blonde lady in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen? Well, that is the picture of the driver that has been assigned by the trains program to this particular engine. The train looks like it's going pretty fast, but that's only because the video has been sped up quite a bit. The next signal says there are no passengers at Nantmor Halt. Continue through. Nantmor is an area where there is a large campsite, and the train will stop at the campsite to pick up people who are backpacking their way around Wales. So now I'm going to give a plug for the Welsh Highland Railway Cwrw R.E. Llydraw Railil. It's the Welsh Highland Railway Society Real Ale Festival, and it's usually at that time, anyways, takes place every year in mid-May. You can see the horses aren't too disturbed by the whistle of the train. I think they're getting used to it. That's a good view of the S-turn. The train doubles back along its self. I'm going to take a bird's eye view just to give you an idea of the size of the route. There's a few level crossings that we pass through in this part of the route. You can see there's a... Oh! Well, that truck just tried to beat the train. You notice he disappeared, so I don't know where he went. We will be getting near Rhyd Ddu soon. And as I understand it, in Welsh, Rhyd Ddu is black Ford. I'm talking about the Ford across the river and not that old car that your grandpa had. Rhyd Ddu is a small town at meeting point of three valleys. Oh, see, here's a area where rail fans will gather to watch the train come. And there's even a tour bus there. The three valleys are from Bedgellert, Bettysegarman, and It's a tough one. Anyways, we're now approaching a sign that it says Pitt's Head. It's the summit of the route, 648 feet, 197 meters. The pop-up sign says you're approaching Rhyd Ddu station. This is the end of your run. Stop at the station for passenger exchange with the southbound train. Rhyd Ddu itself is an elevation of about 195 meters. There's also a note that says Snowdon can be walked via the Rhyd Ddu path. So a lot of people will stop here so that they can hike up and Mount Snowdon and into the highlands of Wales. We're almost done here. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to take you on this part of the route. And I will have another session coming up, actually two. And we'll be coming from the opposite direction, starting off in Carnarvon and making our way to Rhyd Ddu. As you can see, there's a lot of people on the station, and there is actually the southbound train. So people quite often will go part way and hop off at Rhyd Ddu and take the train going back to their home destination. We will bring this train to a stop shortly. As you can see, there are a lot of people waiting to get on, and we should have a full train for the rest of the trip. There, congratulations, you have reached the end of the session. Thanks for watching.